again, this is to illustrate a little bit about our economy. And if you are taking notes, I want to point out this is how we're tending to think about finding a job and keeping a job in Texas. That we all need to keep these quadrants in mind, if you will. Now, employers tend to focus on workplace basics and skills. If you want to take notes, when I talk to executives, these are the 5 things that they say they want the most out of new employees. Number 1, good communication skills. Can you explain what you do in your job in 2 sentences? Can you explain what your employer does or what your department does in 2 sentences? And for heaven's sake, can you send an email in no more than 5 sentences? This is really tough for people like Mark, but I'm sure that some of you can do this if you try. The second most in-demand issue for employers is technical skills. Right? Is there something in this world that you do better than most other people? Now, specifically, understanding an Excel spreadsheet is the most in-demand technical skill that we have here in Texas among employers. But is there something you do better than most other people? And that becomes your specialty. Third key issue is critical thinking skills. The reality is, Lupe won't admit this, community colleges and high schools have a really difficult time teaching critical thinking skills. Can you make logical conclusions if presented with events? The reality is, critical thinking skills come about with maturity. And it is just part of life. The fourth key issue is work experience. And experience is simply showing up for work on time and in the proper clothes. And that's what employers keep telling us that they're typically looking for. And number 5 is a brand new request from employers. Can you get along with coworkers who are different than you? Can you get along with coworkers who are of a different age than you, different race, a different religious background, a different education level than you? Can you get along with your coworkers? This is important because as we think about finding and keeping a job, again, these are the 4 quadrants of thinking. You need to balance these 4 quadrants in your mind and in your life to get a job and keep a job. Again, you're going to see communication skills, getting along with others, critical thinking skills, but also general skills. You know, when it comes down to it in America, a high school diploma is the price of entry into the job market today, but more importantly, some post-secondary learning. Can you take a class at Austin Community College? I'll bet you can. I'll bet you can. And can you create some kind of specific technical skills? I'll bet you can. Everybody in this world is good at something. The other key issue is distill. Can you distill information at the workplace? This is particularly important because in the recession, companies laid off their trainers. Fewer companies are offering on-site training. On-the-job training is becoming less and less and less the norm. You are expected to distill information from your coworkers. Can you listen to your coworkers and understand how to get the job done? Can you listen to multiple coworkers and filter out the ways to get the job done faster, more efficiently? And this becomes more and more important. We'll discuss career lattice later in a different presentation. But do you have the ability to take continuing education and continue to learn? And the other key issue, frankly, is willpower. Do you have the ability to go to where jobs are? Are you willing to take a job that might be paying a little bit less than what you were expecting? Are you willing to take a job whose title is less than what you were hoping for in order to pick up new skills, in order to pick up a paycheck, in order to pick up with your career and continue to move forward? And when we talk to employers after several conversations, they seem to say that skills and will, these may be the 2 more important areas of the quadrant. And it's something that all of us need to think about. How do we balance this in our minds to find and retain jobs in an ever-changing workforce? With that, I appreciate your time. I encourage you to continue thinking forward. And I'll end this presentation now. Turn it back over to the Toastmaster. Dan, thank you very much for having me.
All right, thank you.